Hey guys, Sneaky Snake here, Brothers in Arms, World of Warships, and today's video we're going to take a look at a replay sent in by DasBootCamp of the APOC clan, and he's playing in the LOLorado, the Tier 7 American battleship, and he's playing by himself some Epicenter here on the map Trident. So if you'd like to send a replay into BIAworldofwarships, please send it to our email account at BIAworldofwarships@gmail.com. Please include the replay file, post-game screenshots, a brief description of the battle, and then if you'd like myself or Spider to do the commentary on it, you can certainly request for that as well. So, the LOLorado here in World of Warships. This is a ship that was a long time ago, well over a year ago, when I was unfortunate enough to play it. Was a, to be quite frank, a very bad ship. Very bad. It had, at least when I played it, like a 34 second reload, so the DPM was extremely bad. And the accuracy has also received some significant buffs over time as well. So this thing used to be a ship that had wonderfully hard-hitting guns that, well, never really hit anything. And the reload was so long that even going up against Tier 8 and 9 battleships, it was pretty much pathetic to do so, because you would just get absolutely wiped off the floor, and there really wouldn't be anything that you could do about it. The ship also had a horrendous A-hull. It was the World War I version, about 1920s or so. And yeah, it had no AA. You have less than 50,000 hit points, or at least you did. So to put that into perspective, the Tier 5 Congo, fully upgraded, has more hit points than you do. And yeah, this thing used to be horrendous, and I really can't say it enough, because that was one of my first tastes with World of Warships, and it's a ship that I have yet to play again. Obviously, in its current state, it's a lot better, and actually compares pretty well with the other Tier 7 battleships. So what do you need to know about it right now? Well, the guns are a lot better in terms of accuracy, 230 meters dispersion, I believe, fully upgraded, and you also have a range of 18.8 kilometers, which is pretty nice as well. The armor is the classic all-or-nothing scheme, which you find on a lot of the mid-tier American battleships, where the bow and the stern are pretty much not protected whatsoever, and high explosive shells from 8-inch guns and above can absolutely wreck those areas. However, it's very difficult to get a citadel on this thing unless you're at close range and shooting at the waterline when it's in a turn. Because the majority of the armor, 343 millimeters, is the thickest part of the citadel, is located right underneath the guns and, of course, the smokestack. So this thing is a tough nut to crack, and it also comes with a very nice AA suite when fully upgraded as well. But of course, the one downside that has been with the LOLorado ever since its inception in the game is a very bad top speed of 21 knots, and that's just what you have to deal with these standard type battleships. These things were designed in real life to all have the same speed, so they could all sail together, and it would be a lot easier to form the battle line with ships and battleships in particular that had uniform speeds. So that's the reason why. But the other thing about the LOLorado, the maneuverability is pretty good as well. It's 640 meters turning radius is very nice, and it has a 16-second rudder shift time. So while it's not as nimble as, say, a New York or a Texas, this thing can still turn very nicely. Anyway, at the beginning of the game here, he's getting some long-range shots at the Nagato, about 16 kilometers away, and he manages to do 6,500 damage. Very unlucky right there. The Nagato, compared to the LOLorado, has a lot more hit points and also totes 16-inch guns, but the armor profile on that ship is very poor. So for him only to get 6.5k on that shot was very surprising, to say the least. He's now looking for the next one, and the shells are away. One of the big differences between the Nagato and the LOLorado, besides the armor, is the reload. The Nagato actually has about a 2-second longer reload, but the guns, I believe, have better penetration. I don't have a quantifiable way to conclude or confirm that, but at least in my experiences with it, it seems like the Nagato's guns not only shoot farther, but again, they have a little bit better penetration. He's now looking for a shot here at this Fiji, who unfortunately was going a little bit too fast and was able to get spotted just before his smoke shrouded him in concealment. We'll see if he's able to pay. 5 overpens. That's absolutely cruel. British light cruisers are probably the squishiest of the bunch, and I cannot believe he got 5 overpens. But right there, the accuracy though, you know, he didn't get a citadel. Yeah, he didn't kill him, but he was still able to hit 5 out of the 8 shots, so that's very nice. And you can see here that he hasn't been getting shot at. He has been detected for quite some time, and he's just patiently switching between targets, doing his thing, and another broadside of 16-inch shells goes down towards the Cleveland. We'll see what kind of damage he's able to do, and unfortunately 2 overpens. A lot of overpens here at the beginning. Very surprising. Don't worry, this replay will be heating up shortly here. So he's got a Cleveland, a Fiji, and a Shores to deal with over here. And as long as the LOLorado is, I guess the best way to put it, as long as the LOLorado is at the center of attention without taking all of the attention, I guess is the way to put it, because 50,000 hit points is a very, very small amount at Tier 7. So you really do have to manage it properly. But if you are able to get into those central locations where you're able to shoot at the majority of the ships that are there, then, like that salvo right there on the Cleveland, if you're not paying attention, these guns will absolutely hurt. And his final turret is able to take care of the kill. It secures his first kill of the game on that Tier 6 American light cruiser. He's up to 37,000 points of damage done so far, and once again, he has not taken a single point of damage in return. Now he's trying to get a snapshot off here, hopefully looping the shells over the island into the shores, and there we go, he does. It says 2 overpens, but obviously one of those shells, or maybe both, penetrated from bow to stern. He gets about 10,000 points of damage on that one, so very good stuff. And now he has his rear turret ready to go here against the Fiji. Is he going to be able to finish him off? We're going to follow the shells in here. And there we go. He gets his second kill of the game. Very nice shot right there. He's up to 50,000 points of damage done so far. And he's destroyed 2 of the 3 enemy ships that have been sent to Davy Jones's locker. So a very nice start here by DasBootCamp, but there's still plenty more that's going to need to be done to secure this victory for his team. You can see where his team is deploying the majority, the glutton of them, along the F line in grids 4 and 5. So they're basically just crowding behind that large island right there, and they're waiting, I suppose, to see if the enemy team is going to continue their push down the 6 and 7 line. However, at this point, it's 350 to 435. His team has lost 4 compared to the enemy's 3, and like I mentioned earlier, he has had 2 of those 3 said kills, so very good start right here. But you can see that the LOLorado, just the speed is so atrocious. You saw that he was heading over towards the western end of the map, and yeah, you see how much time it's taken him to finally get into a position where he can shoot his guns in anger yet again at that shores. It's been at least a minute, if not a minute and a half. And that's just an inherent thing about the LOLorado. You really do need to learn how to position, not only properly, but do it consistently as well. Somehow the shores doesn't take penetrating damage while he was presenting, I should say, the length of his ship right there, 2 overpens, but he's left on about 1,900 health. And it appears that his friends are going to be able to take care of business. The Bajoni is shooting at him as well. It appears that he's on fire. However, he is taking some shells here now from the Farragut, it appears, that is in the smoke in Sector E4. You can see that he's sitting over there as the Alba manages to take out that shores. He's sitting there in the smoke screen. And I actually like the play that Bootcamp's doing right here. He's continuing to move forward towards that smoke screen, and hopefully either his plane will be able to somehow get a spot there if the Farragut goes out of his smoke screen, or maybe the smoke screen will be ready to run out. So we'll see here if he's going to be able to take care of business. He does have to turn, however, to avoid running into the island straight in front of him. So at this point, he's only able to get his 2 forward guns shooting at the Farragut. His secondaries are also shooting as well at about 6 kilometers. Just with the 2 forward guns, the shells are out. The dispersion looks wonderful. And what do you know? He manages 2 overpens for about 4,000 points of damage dealt. And he kills off the Tier 6 American destroyer for his 3rd kill of the game. And he's up to 57,000 points of damage. So a very nice shot. And as you can see, he's a little half-me in chat because yeah, I was not expecting that either. With 2, quote, overpens, that was a very nice display of RNG right there. And like I mentioned earlier, the guns have significantly been buffed to the point where the accuracy is actually really, really nice. If you can get to ranges, I'd say, of 13 kilometers and under, that's really where the LOLorado shines in the accuracy department, and it's no coincidence, I suppose, that pretty much the majority of his damage dealt has also been at under 13 kilometers. Unfortunately, the Fuso takes out his friend in the York. It's 365 to 375. The enemy team has lost 5 ships, and his team has lost 5 ships. Gee golly, that's a lot of 5s right there, isn't it? There's an Alba, a Fuso, a Galicianiere. Now, you can see here that he's pushing out, and I'm going to go into this free cam right here. The Fuso is still got a nice chunk of hit points left. However, he is running a stock haul, so that's why he only has 44,000 hit points. The Galicianiere is sitting over there. It appears in somebody else's smoke right at the corner of the island. You can see the Mahan, the Fubuki, the Emerald. They're trying to hold off. The Mahan is launching torpedoes. So right here, Bootcamp is actually making a very nice play, getting around to the flank of the enemy when they're trying to deal with the other ships that are still along that F line in 4 and 5. He gets a full broadside out against the Alba. Will he be able to secure the kill? Unfortunately, no citadels, but he still lands 2 penetrating hits for about 7,000 points of damage, so pretty good stuff. And also, he has his secondaries going to town on that Fuso, who was angled in towards him as well. So at this point, it appears he's getting ready to shoot another salvo at the Alba. The Alba is starting to move forward. Now he's going to put his attention back to the Fuso. We're going to see what he's going to do here. The Fuso is at a pretty nice angle, but these are 16-inch guns, and they just really don't care. He's going to be able to go right through that armor, and there we go. He gets a Citadel and a penetrating hit, 7,400 points of damage dealt. Picks up the Confederate as well, and also snags his 4th kill of the game with 75,000 points of damage done. So a very solid performance right here, and there's still plenty more that has to be done here. It's still 310 to 380. His team continues to be on the lower end of the point total here. But now he's looking for a shot here on the Emile Bertin as the Leglisseniere's torpedoes manages to take out the Emerald. He does get a full broadside out on the Emile. We'll see if he's going to be able to pick up the Kraken right here. Yes, he does. 1 pen, 1 overpen. Picks up the Kraken. Very awesome stuff. 5 kills right now. And now he's swinging his attention to the Alba. However, that Nicholas is still in that smokescreen over off to his starboard side, so he does have to be a little bit careful here. He really hasn't been zigzagging or trying to dodge all that much. But then again, when the pickings have been this easy, I suppose it's pretty easy to get lulled into every shot that you're taking is doing damage and killing stuff. So pretty good stuff, I must say. He's now looking for a shot here on the Alba, that tier 6 Japanese heavy cruiser. He still is detected, obviously. The Leningrad is now off his aft end. Only 1 overpen there on the Alba. And that New York is on full hit points, 50,800. So he still has to be careful. And disaster strikes. Torpedoes are coming in from that starboard side. Fortunately for him, it's only 3 torpedoes. He takes 3 of them right on the chin. However, that Nicholas is 2.8 kilometers away. He's got 4 seconds left on his main battery. Yeah, that Nicholas is not going to get away here. Well, the secondaries finish him off. Yes, they do. He gets a close quarters expert. Very awesome stuff. And because the American damage control is so nice, he doesn't die. He's at 1,500 hit points, but his repair was staying active for so long that he did not take extra flooding damage. However, any shell from that New York that hits him is going to be able to secure this kill. So he does have to be careful, but he gets the overpen that he needs on the Alba to pick up his 7th kill of the game so far. And now he's got his hit points going, trying to get some more back. Oh boy, that was a very, very scary set of events right there. Right when those shells from the New York were coming in, very lucky that they hit the deck and did not hit anywhere on the superstructure or the hull, or he certainly would have kicked the bucket right there. But he's going to be up to about just over 10,000 hit points, so he still has a decent bit to work with. However, that New York can still, hit him pretty hard. The Leglissenieres also decides not to push the corner. However, his friend in the New Mexico appears that he's going to be able to get the kill here. It's 324 to 300. 3 ships apiece remaining on each side. But unfortunately, since he took so much damage from those torpedoes, he only has a little sliver of hit points that he's going to be able to get back. So he's basically stuck here at 9,800 hit points. So honestly, if that New York was, I don't know, I might shoot high explosive, and I know that sounds a little ridiculous, but he's on so little hit points, and he's not really going to be able to get any back. And I know that probably sounds really weird coming out of my mouth, but shooting HE right now would not be a bad idea, because he still has about 30 seconds left until his next heal comes up. But I digress. Yeah. It was a weird play. I'm not going to lie. I was very surprised to see him kind of lose focus of that Nicholas. But regardless, he's still carried his team thus far. 85,000 points of damage. So, yeah, this is certainly a monster carry right here. Appears the Bajoni will be able to take out the Glissoniere, and he indeed does. You can see the Leningrad is trailing the New Mexico. It's off his aft end over there. Starboard side, I should say at this point. But you know what? That guy that's in chat, report on New York, please. In action or bot. The more that I think about it, that guy's literally been sailing at max range this entire time. So maybe he is a bot. Who knows? Either way, they're getting the caps here. They've secured the center zone, and with that, they're about ready to secure the mid and the outer zone as well. So now their team is going to be able to pick up a significant amount of points here, and it's at this point that he's just going to try and farm a little damage. And there we go. He gets the other 2 assisted base captures, so very nice stuff right there. And now he's looking for some shots here at the New York, who is providing a very nice broadside. He gets the front turrets out. Shells are flying in on the target. See what he's going to be able to do here. There we go, right at the waterline. Somehow was not a Citadel, but regardless of that, 8,000 damage done. And for some reason, the New York decides not to shoot at him, the low health ship. Very, very interesting decision right there, as those 14-inch shells are not a guarantee to be able to go through the Bajoni's armor. And there we go. He finally gets a Citadel and a nice penetration for a very healthy chunk of damage done. He's up to about 110,000 points of damage, so very nice stuff right there. He gets his forward guns out as well. Shells are flying in. Even though that New York is angled in just a little bit off his starboard side, those would have been able to over-penetrate the bow of the ship and go right through those two forward barbettes of turrets A and B. So very unlucky right there, but now he's getting the rear turrets into play and his secondaries. He does appear to have a full secondary build. There we go, another Citadel. Picks up the high caliber. Nice shot right there. It looks like going right through that B turret barbette. And his secondaries continue to shoot at the New York. It's only a matter of time until this guy's about ready to die. Yep, the forward guns are out. He's going to secure this kill. Very nice shot right there. He picks up his 8th kill of the game for 125,000 points of damage. And indeed, DasBootCamp, liberty and justice for all. What a way to finish off the game. And with that being said, the rest of this is just going to be watching the Leningrad and the New Mexico duke it out. So I suppose at this point, we are going to go to the post-battle results. Alrighty guys, taking a look now at the post-battle results. He ended up with 41 shell hits and 3 citadels that sank 8 enemy ships. What a freaking number. 24 secondary hits that caused 2 fires, 3 assisted base caps, and for the medals he ended up with a Confederate, a Kraken, close quarters expert, and high caliber. And of course we have the team score screenshot. This is the only screenshot that he did send me, but again, 8 ships sunk, manages to take out 2/3 of the enemy's fleet, and he could have had a kill on the shores, to be honest with you. That was a very close call. And he also had 2,409 base XP, so an excellent performance in the Colorado, even if that Nicholas, in all intents and purposes, should have killed him. But regardless of that, a very solid performance by DasBootCamp, so thank you very much for sending this replay in, and I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I did as well. So with that being said, the Sneaky Snake here for Brothers in Arms World of Warships signing off. Please consider giving the video a like, commenting on it, or possibly subscribing to the channel. All of it is very much appreciated. And with that being said, have a great day.